thank you everyone for joining us today. I know how precious everyone's time is, but rest assured you get a lot out of this presentation. And personally, I'm very excited to share with you how you can fast-track project management success with Sharepoint 2013. Now, before we jump into looking at Sharepoint, key capabilities and benefits, what I'd like to do is really think about some key business challenges we face today. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. First and foremost, we're in the day and age where our colleagues, our employees would want to work together from virtually anywhere. And more importantly, if possible, with anything. We're in this whole BYOD world and BYOD society today, be it a typical PC, mobile devices, a Mac. We're all using different tools and really working across different geographies, and there's no boundaries anymore. Another challenge we face in typical organization is when we think about tools, and especially on project management, is the upfront infrastructure cost. Today, while the global economy is slowly getting back on its feet and flourishing, unfortunately, a lot of our technology budgets and infrastructure budgets is not going up as fast. So those are some of the key challenges we face as well. And then the other challenges, more and more today, we can't just aimlessly spend money putting in technologies for no good reasons at all. We can only compete if we align proper investment with business priorities. And how do we do that? And last but not the least, we want more visibility and control over what people are working on and how we're doing. And you can see that quite prevalent not only in government organizations, but in commercial entities as well. We've got 100 projects that's going on. How do we know if we're ahead? How do we know are we behind? What about our resources? And what about how does our projects this quarter compare to last quarter? So all of these are common challenges that we face in the business today. But specific to project management, I mean, check these out. Do these look familiar? In a typical organization, there might be a group of people who are quite mature in their project management practices. So for those that have project management offices or IT PMOs. But then if you look at the other end of the spectrum, in the same company, folks working in your, I don't know, in your business groups like marketing or sales, while project management is not their formal job, but they do a lot of project and project management related work. But the maturity is not as high as more of the formalized group. So how do you handle that? Tools, we talked about that already. I've been working with a lot of organizations where, again, there's a lot of great tools, but, you know, for the lower maturity group, they use email a lot. You know that email is the #1 project management tool today in 2013? Isn't that embarrassing? We are relying on a 1973 tool to help manage our project. What about line of business integration and then visibility? Again, more and more being able to expose key information is very important, not only to the executive management set, but pretty much to key people in the organization in this fast-paced environment we operate in. Now, how do we deal with all this? How do we take advantage of it? Unfortunately, a lot of organizations have tried a lot of different things. But one of the key obvious, or I would say the big elephant in the room, is not really focusing hard enough on the investment that you have in the Microsoft stack. Now, I'm sure a lot of you tuning in today have, if you're working with large organizations, you already have Microsoft set of tools, and you might already have SharePoint as well. One of the great things about the SharePoint suite of products, or the Microsoft suite of products, SharePoint being one of them, is it allows you to deliver project management solutions on your terms, which we will see in a second. You know, through SharePoint-related technologies, you can provide internal and external project collaboration solutions. So if you think about lower maturity groups, let's say your marketing folks or sales folks, all they need is a way, other than email, for them to work with vendors or their colleagues to track tasks or action items. You can easily do that with SharePoint. We'll see that in a second. Also, there's a way for higher level maturity to do higher level project portfolio, even resource management solutions with SharePoint related technologies as well. And more importantly, other than these specific solutions we can deliver through SharePoint, if you look at the other side, we can still take advantage of tools people are comfortable with today because, again, we're in the BYOD world. If people are comfortable and enjoy using Windows, so be it. They can use Windows. If they want to use the latest and greatest tablets, iPad, Surface, they could. They want to use their iPhones, Androids, or cloud-based technologies, that's certainly a possibility as well. And that's what I call project management on your terms through SharePoint. And because of that, imagine if I can leverage project management solutions on my terms. Think about how much faster you can expedite project management success. So what I want to go through and talk to you about in the remainder of the hour is how do we do this? How do we fast-track project management success and deliver project management on people's terms using SharePoint? Really, it's 3 specific ways. So first and foremost, and then I'll go through this more in detail, is with SharePoint-related technologies, we can allow people to collaborate efficiently, getting people on the same page quickly. The second step to this is we can manage projects effectively, really doing it more proactive and reactive. I mean, there's you know, people say out there, a good project manager is somebody who can put fires out. I don't agree with that because if you put fires out, you're being reactive. So how can you be proactive and have a suite of tools that support you? So we'll see that. And last but not the least, we can deliver project management on your terms by winning consistently. And again, through SharePoint and related suite of products, we can certainly do that and win through time. So let's go ahead and look at the first step on how we deliver project management on your terms. The first step is we should be able to allow people to collaborate efficiently and quickly get started. Now, before I show my demo, let's step back and think about a typical project management life cycle. So when you get started on a project, what's the first thing that you do, right? Typically, if I get assigned a project, the first thing I would do is I would need to communicate this with either a subset of people or a bigger group of people. And then there might be related artifacts that comes with it, be it a template or a schedule. And what do? Again, traditionally, and most of everyone I know, they would fire out an email, hey, we need to start on this project, check out these project charter documents, initiation artifacts, and you put the attachment and then you send the email. So you know how the rest of the story goes, right? And the email fights back and forth, these crazy attachments. You know, initially that might be okay, but through time, that's messy. So how can we effectively collaborate and also quickly get started with a technology like SharePoint? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my desktop and kind of step you through a demonstration of how to do all this, okay? So right now, I'm showing my browser. So just to make sure we're all on the same page here, you can see my screen. Can somebody just pop in the Q&A and say, I see your screen, Dux? Because I'd hate to do my demo and then you're not seeing what I'm doing. Just pop in the Q&A, say, hey, Dux, I see your screen. Okay, brilliant. All right. Okay, so here's the scenario. So, folks, what you're seeing here is the latest and greatest incarnation of SharePoint. This is SharePoint 2013, and I'm using it hosted by Microsoft. So for those not familiar, you could certainly get SharePoint in your environment. You can have IT install it, all that good stuff. But Microsoft can also